This is getting heavy. Hello everyone and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Ross13 and today we are looking at this. The Chogokin Gundam Next Pavilion Gundam. My brother did a trip to Japan and actually got to see this pavilion, this statue, and decided to graciously get me a copy of this very exclusive and I believe very expensive toy. So we are going to open it up and take a look, but this box is so cool looking. Let's take a closer look at it before we get into things. So on the front we have a very cool sort of holographic-y foil thing going on for a lot of it that just adds a very premium, cool looking effect on things. But we got an image of the figure itself in the pose from the pavilion. We can see all the new parts that are on this because the statue in question is actually the original moving Gundam statue, just reassembled and without the ability to move. But just looks really cool. We got the Bandai logo and the Chogokin logo, Gundam Next Pavilion logo as well. And I have never actually owned a Chogokin figure of any sort, so this is a new experience for me and I'm kind of excited to check this out. And then of course we got the Expo 2025 Chogokin RX-78F00/E Gundam right there. And then all sorts of other little logos. And then on the side we got the same logos as before, but also some little foil stamping going on here. Again, this all feels very, very premium. Even on the bottom, the side again, and the top. Now we got all the cool product shots on the back, and there is no English text on here with the exception of like the logo stuff and a few bits here and there. So this isn't something that's necessarily designed for a wider audience, as it were. But I am still excited to check this out. Looks like it's going to come with shield, beam rifle, and a bazooka. And yeah, let's go ahead, open her up, and see what we got. So was not expecting this. Everything came in multiple parts. So we got like an instruction booklet, probably some sort of guide thing that is in this little poly bag here. We got a whole mess of parts in a plastic tray here, as well as looks like the stand below it and the V-fin. And then right here, judging by the weight, I'm guessing this is the actual Gundam figure. So we need to get this out and take a look at it. And there it is. Oh, look at this thing. Okay, I'm gonna carefully get this out. And oh my word, this thing is gorgeous. Just look at that. This is a certainly a different beast than a Gunpla or my Transformers. I almost feel like I'm not allowed to own this thing, let alone carefully take it out of its packaging. Oh my goodness, and it is heavy. Like I knew it was going to be, but... And yeah, I can feel the die cast on it. The feet are definitely die cast. I can feel the temperature change on it. The legs are... Yeah. This is so cool. Oh my word. Just absolutely breathtaking. I love the little translucent bits. And it's just an interesting design too. Okay, I'm gonna get myself acquainted with this and then we will continue with the review. So part of getting acquainted with it is taking a look at the instruction book, which is more of a fold-out pamphlet thing, but here's all the stuff that it comes with. Again, this is all in Japanese with a few translated bits, so there's going to be some difficulty here. This has electronics in it, and looks like it has some batteries in it, but I'm probably going to need to get new ones. It says requires 3 LR41 button batteries. Included batteries are for demonstration purposes only, so probably they don't have that much of a charge in them. So we'll see how much I'm able to demonstrate with that. And then this is showing how the joints work. This is probably also like a bend these here in this way. Yeah, and also it's showing got to be careful with certain parts, otherwise you're going to damage the paint. And it's showing how everything is articulated on this. And yeah, this flips around so you can attach the mount there. And then how to use the bazooka, how to mount the bazooka, the shield, and of course the stand. So not super detailed, but again, it's a pre-built action figure. It just is almost all metal. I'm still feeling very nervous about handling all this thing, but let's take a look at things. And here it is all set up. And there are a lot of accessories here, and it took a little bit more effort to get everything set up than I would care to think about. But it looks so freaking good. I am very, very happy with this, yeah. Now, the hands, as you can see, I got an open expressive hand on there. That took a lot of effort to figure out how to get it to come off. It's got a mushroom peg on there that holds things on really good, which is great, except for when you want to, you know, take the hand off. But a little bit of heat from a hair dryer, and it came off fairly easily. Shout out to Gyoza Gundam over on Blue Sky for helping me out with that, by the way. Speaking of the hands, we got a whole bunch along there, and those you really got to press down onto their little pegs in order to get them to stay, otherwise they will fall off like nobody's business. But let's go ahead and get this off the stand, and we will take a closer look at things. From feet to head, he's looking really cool. I got the lights going, and they're a little hard to see right now. It almost looks like only one eye is illuminated, but that could just be because of the way the lights are. I don't know. The chest is illuminated as well. And again, it says that the battery that is in here is only for like demonstration purposes, so it probably doesn't work as well as it should. But this thing just looks so freaking good. And posability wise is pretty decent. So I'm going to be very careful, but head does move around. So you got pretty decent movement there. And you actually do have a butterfly joint here. And Some nice clicky ratchets, and the shoulder pad gets kind of out of its own way. You got a bicep swivel. That feels very, very tight on this copy, so I'm being very careful with it. I believe that is a double jointed elbow. Some wrist articulation, so rotation and a little bit of wiggly waggle. You can rotate the waist around a little bit, and you do have some ab crunching ability here. Cool stuff with the legs is as you move it, you get these panels sliding, which is really nice. And I don't know if you can hear that, but we got a nice clicky ratchet in there. And we got the front skirts can move front ways and on the back and on the sides. And we do have ankle articulation, but it is very, very stiff to the point where I am very concerned about breaking things. So it's kind of hard to get into use. I don't know if it's just it needs to be worked or something, but I don't want to work it too much. Otherwise, maybe something goes snap and then I'm out this figure. And a little bit of ankle tilting, some toes. And I mean, just this thing is very impressive. It is incredibly premium, which, I mean, that's kind of the point, right? Interestingly enough, moving on to accessories, something that he doesn't come with that I was kind of surprised about was there are no beam sabers. Absolutely no beam sabers, and not even a place for them. I guess that's because there are no beam sabers on the actual statue, but it's very odd to be looking at a Grandpa Gundam and not seeing two little white things go boop off the back. Well, let's go ahead and set this guy aside and take a look at the other accessories we have. So we have the bazooka, which looks very, very nice. Even have little caution markings and stuff. And I'm betting this is a thing for helping it mount somewhere. And then, of course, we can't have a Grandpa Gundam without his good old beam saber. Sorry, beam rifle. And these parts can articulate, so you can put the rifle in whatever hand you want. And let's, of course, not forget Shield-chan. This one looks very, very impressive. And I believe this part moves, and I don't know if, I can't remember if this moves around. It looks like it can. I'll fiddle with that probably off camera, because again, I don't want to break anything. But it looks very, very nice. Got 2 shades of red, some markings on it, the yellow star. And then, of course, we have all these different hands going on. And also, we have the stand itself, which looks really cool. It's very similar to what you see for like an action base, even functions very much like one, with the same sort of locking mechanisms and stuff. But yeah, let's change up the loadout and we'll go to final thoughts. So yeah, this is an amazing product. It is premium with a capital P though. It is made out of a lot of die-cast metal parts. It is covered in paint and tiny little details, and has a lot of extra hands and accessories. It even has its own electronics in the form of lights and stuff like that. You can even see the on-off switch there. There's a cover for that. It kept flying off. I've put that aside. and it's certainly going to look good on your shelf. But it's expensive, and the only way to get it is if you were at that expo, or you have a brother who very generously got it for you. So, in that respect, it's hard for me to recommend. It is an amazing figure, and I bet if you like this kind of stuff, you are absolutely going to love it. But this is not for a casual fan. This is not for a little kid. It even says in the packaging and stuff like that, this is not for anybody like under the age of 15. So it occupies kind of a different niche than Gunpla. But that being said, I really like this thing, and I am so grateful to my brother for getting it. And I think this is going to look really good in my shelf space. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see all of you the next time you invade my shelf space.